let's sew together. A lot of you ask questions when I sew, so I thought whilst I'm sewing Scout a little Christmas dress, yes, I'm leaving it to the last minute, but look at this fabric, that maybe I could answer a few of your questions. Would that be alright? Firstly, if you're new to sewing or you want to get into sewing, I would not recommend starting with a dress pattern or a pattern with woven. I would probably suggest knit fabric, buckshot pattern, or something with a knit fabric. So a knit fabric is a stretchy fabric and it's not going to fray and be painful when you're trying to sew. The question I get asked most when I share my sewing is, will I be opening up a shop? And the answer is yes, hopefully during next year, which I'm classifying as my gap year. Okay, my next tip is, if you want to learn to sew, just sew. Doesn't matter what machines you have. Started off with a machine from, it was like Gumtree, and I think we actually brought it for Jade to use. Patterns that you can get, super easy. They have amazing pictures, instructions to follow. Embroidery, I will say, is more expensive. If you are going to sew with woven fabrics, my top tips would be to make sure you iron everything and pin everything. Iron and pin, that is your best friend. You don't need a fancy overlocker. Your machine, just change the stitch to a zigzag stitch, can do the same thing. My last tip, and then I'll go to part 2 to show you the finished dress, is buy a picker, because this will be your best friend. And we all make mistakes and we all have to unpick and reread instructions 100 times.